A warm welcome everyone, I hope you are well. My name is Nick, we're on the Commodore 64 and we're looking at a classic game called MANIC MINER, published by Software Projects in 1983. Originally created by Matt Smith on the ZX Spectrum, and it was a huge game there. This Commodore 64 version has been converted by Chris Lancaster. It's over 20 single screens where you control Miner Willie, who's trapped in these mines, and you must collect keys and objects and then get through a flashing box that lights up at the end. All the time your air's going down along the bottom there, so we have to do it within that time span. Now it plays quite similar to the Spectrum version at the moment, although it does feel slightly different. We might turn that music off in a moment. Yeah, the screen looks the same. I don't know, it might be slightly faster or slightly slower. Something feels a bit different. So we're going to be reviewing a few Commodore 64 games on the channel. I do like that that chink noise when you collect the keys. That's most welcoming. So the box is flashing in the bottom right. So we need to get down there, and then it's the end of... Oh no! Don't bump into the bushes or you're dead. The music is off, you might have noticed. Right, okay, so I'm not doing as well as I did do on Spectrum versions. It's because it's ever so slightly different, probably, the timings, and I've got memory from completing these. So if you've seen the Spectrum review, I got quite far on that, on the revisited one, and yeah, so we'll see how far we get on this, see a few screens, but it is MANIC MINER. It's represented quite well on the Commodore 64, so one would have to say it is a good conversion by Chris Lancaster. The colours seem very similar, although it sounds a little bit more washed out than the Spectrum version, but you know, the Commodore 64 had more colours. The dancing Miner Willie at the bottom there is the same. What I used to like on the Spectrum version is this pleasing sound when the air went down when you got to the end. Let's see if it's similar on the Commodore 64. So there's slight differences between the two already. That's a bit different. More pingy. The cold room, this looks identical. Yeah, this looks identical. I don't know if there's like different frame rate or something like that. So it's not identical to it, but very, very similar. I imagine Jet Set Willie also came out on the Commodore 64, so we might come to that one. So we're looking at these temporarily Commodore 64 games, only because the channel's full time for this month. You know, it's in the balance. We all have to work. If you want to help me go full time so that it becomes more of a regular thing, then please consider becoming a patron on patreon.com/njenkins for the channel to grow. It's always a work in development, so hopefully things will come as that goes on, but you never know. The Menagerie, slightly different colours to the Spectrum version. These ledges seem to be cyan or a very light blue. These ones are like purpley sort of like colour. I'm enjoying this one. It's good. It's better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more different than this one. I turned the music off because it gets a little bit scratchy. I'm playing this on emulation. I think I need to improve the buffer size for the sound, but let's not get too technical. As I say, videos tend to get better on a system the more you do, and this is only the second one. The Menagerie. There we go, so that's quite quick. This is the first time I've ever played this game. I think the ledges on this one are yellow in the Spectrum version, so again that's like purpley colour. But I know how to do this one from memory. There's two sea lions with balls balancing on their nose. They're not going to cause too much of a problem. I could probably do this in my sleep. The next level is when it starts getting a bit difficult. It's Eugene's lair, and Eugene looks like a very suspicious character. Bum 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 bum. Hall of the Mountain Kings, that music. And at the start, which I didn't show you, we might show it after the gameplay is over, it plays the Blue Danube. Da 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 dee dee da da. I'm sure you know what the Blue Danube is, but we will have a listen to it as well. The abandoned uranium workings. This level is more or less of memory of knowing which ledge to jump on and when, but all single screen stuff. I'm quite liking that sound. Now, like Eugene's lair. Now, this is getting tricky. There's toilets going backward and forward. We must collect, which I only presume is toilet rolls about the place. And once you've got the last one, the box will start flashing as per usual, but Eugene will come racing down the screen to try and cover that square. So if you don't get there before him, you've got no chance of completing the level. Now, timing of this looks awkward. No, didn't do it. This is our last life, folks. I'm not doing very well compared to other versions. If I die here, we'll probably have a quick second go, and then we'll call it a day. But I want to at least get to Miner Willie meets the Kong Beast. Eugene looks slightly different on this version, it seems. It might be just my memory fading. A nice red background like hell, and I booed that up. And the old boot comes down and flattens you. So the sounds are slightly different. Daniel. I think Les Dawson's playing this. Right. Okay, Central Cavern. Right, should we be able to race for this now? Let's not lose any lives. Boof. Chink as the key goes. Right, okay, get over this robot. This robot does feature in his own homebrew game on the ZX Spectrum. It's called Robot's Day Out. Check that one out. It's quite interesting. Some quite rude names on that game. Rude names, so I had to block them out slightly. There we go. I try and make this a family channel so you can watch it with your kids. You're not really going to get much swearing here. So if you want to get them into retro gaming, have a look at a few videos. We'll try and make it as fun as possible. And it's all about commenting as well, sharing ideas, and with that the channel grows in a way that hopefully is beneficial to everyone. Hooray! It's not me just dictating stuff, it's about having a laugh, sitting back, relaxing and chilling and relaxing. Not to go into the theme music of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or anything. The cold room, make sure you got your coat on. So the story goes, when Miner Willie beats all these people on all 20 screens, ending in the 16th cavern or the final cavern, he's rich, and with that money he buys a great big mansion, continuing the game in Jet Set Willie. But the person before him was doing mad experiments in that house, and you've had a big party, and you can't go to bed unless you've collected all the glasses. I would have loved to have been at that party, and Maria won't let you go to bed. The housekeeper until you've cleared up. I don't know why she can't do it, because she's the housekeeper. But anyway, the place is haunted with lots of strange creatures from the previous experiments of the previous owner, and it's really tough to complete. A few people might complete it. I do have a video up telling you what happens at the end of Jet Set Willie and Manic Miner, if you want to watch that on the Spectrum. Boom! But this is about the Commodore 64. Let's try and gain a bit of knowledge of that system. Before, I didn't know anything at all. We've reviewed Stunt Car Racer today, at the time of recording at least, and Manic Miner. So 2 down. I'm not sure how many we'll do, but we'll try and do some. Timings are the same as the Spectrum version, which is great. Good old Miner Willie. I'm not sure how big a hit it was on this Spectrum. Did you own it back on the Commodore 64, I should say? Did you own this back in the day? Let me know. Right, this is going well. Right, let's scream through the abandoned uranium workings and hopefully give Eugene what for, so we know what to do. Right, 1. You know what to do, don't you? We go over here, we go on this yellow conveyor belt, which puts us back the other way, onto there, onto this ledge that melts. We can't hang around, otherwise we'll fall down and die. Ideally, we didn't want to be on that high one, but there we go. Boof. Get this one here. Okay. Drop down. I don't think it's very slightly ordered this time, but this key here is the best one to get last, I think, before I did it first, which is wasting a bit of time. Every 10,000 points you get an extra life, so we've got 6,000 so far. You can see on the right and the left is our high score from last time, 8,037. Right, here we go now. Here's our nemesis from before, Eugene. Right, okay, now the secret of unlocking this is the time in here. I can't quite remember it. This might be it. Right, let's go. You want to avoid the black toilet? Oh, Nicky. That was useless. You want to avoid the black toilet, the yellow toilet, and Eugene. How many games have we said that in? None. Right, okay. It's his lair. He lives in the toilet, I think. He's a big fat bloke. Right, okay. Well, the Spectrum, I just seem to be able to do this perfectly. Here we go. This could be awkward. Got away with it. I'm sure that weren't the perfect timing, but we got away with it. Right, hooray. Now, don't mess up on these bushes, Nick. Got 2 more to get. Over there we go. Colour seems quite similar on this level, at least. Drop down. No, don't drop down. Right, okay, now, you need to drop down on this last one. And as I said, when you do get the last one, Eugene will come screaming down the screen. So ideally you want to get it as high as possible. Might risk it here. Here we go. Here he comes screaming down, and we've beat him. Too slow, Eugene, too slow. Now the processing plant, heavily influenced by Pac-Man, you can see. The objects to collect, I don't know what they are. They do look different to the Spectrum version. Again, the colours seem to be similar. Now this level looks devilishly difficult, but it is quite an easy one really. It could almost have been the first level. Nothing too complicated to get you, it's just knowing the way the Pac-Men move. I don't know what they're processing here. Oh, there's a ghost. I think that's different in this version. On the Spectrum version it was a bush. They put a ghost there, which is, you know, that fits Pac-Man better. So well done them. Over him, so the square is flashing in the top right, we can see. Should be able to get that quite easily. Boom. There we go. I played this quite a lot as a kid, albeit not this particular version. Yay! Head's in the box. Right, the vat, it all flashes because we've got 10,000 points, which means an extra life. There's kangaroos jumping about here in the mines, as you'd expect. What? Now the keys are buried in a sort of like vat of melting fluid there. We must avoid all those yellow star things and just get the keys. There is a system to this which thankfully I know. Hopefully I can remember. Right, drop down to this one. Walk across. Get that one. Don't hit the yellow stars. There we go. Right, we'll drop down here. Now we don't want to drop on that kangaroo. So jump to buy yourself a bit of time. Yeah, I think you can see it now, can't you? We don't want to do a long jump because we'll bump into one of those stars. So we just need to do a jump up. There we go. Jump up, get back, and get down. The vat. Boof. Now, Miner Willy meets the Kong Beast. This is where I wanted to get to. Can't quite remember how to do this one. Not like that. There's a lever on the top left, which is optional. If you get that, well, middle, right, left. If you get that, the ledge that the Kong Beast is on collapses and he falls down for bonus points. But in this one, you must collect all the bananas. Again, I like this game. Prefer the Spectrum. It's a bit cruel, really, because it looked very, very slim, identical, because that's what I grew up with. Actually, I've got them in joint first place together. You can't really say one's better than the other. As I say, this moves fractionally different to the Spectrum version, but not a great deal that only an expert would notice. Probably 99 to 100, that sort of difference. Percent. Oh dear, that's wrong. And that's me dead. Boo! Plop. Excellent stuff, excellent. I was impressed with that. MANIC MINER, a classic game, converted really, really well. So I hope you liked having a look at that one. That was MANIC MINER, published by Software Project in 1983, originally created by Matt Smith and converted by Chris Lancaster for the Commodore 64. Got any comments about this one or any similar games, then put your thoughts below. If you want to support the channel on Patreon to ensure its long-term survival, that is patreon.com/njenkin. Thanks for watching again. If you've got any comments about this game or any other similar, then put those below. Until next time, take great care of yourself and are very fond. Goodbye.
Goodbye.